Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the America First Warehouse. I'm Joe the Box, the most patriotic venue in all the land. I love coming here. I can't wait to get up in the morning. I've been thinking about this show all weekend, planning, figuring, and you know what happened the last 2 seconds? Everything changed. Right to my right side is Lisa Azarelli, my favorite news, brings it to the street for us, brings it right here to the table. I'm so glad she's here because she's going to save the show today. Aren't you, Lisa?
I'm going to try my best, Joe, but it's pretty easy when you have an amazing team, okay? But I want to wish everybody a happy Tune In Tuesday and get ready for a great show.
Thank you, Lisa. Amazing. My most handsome older brother, I was told, because he is 7 minutes older. Johnny Blanket, how you doing? Where you been? You're supposed to wear white today. Didn't your mother tell you?
Had breakfast this morning. Mom didn't mention my dress code at all. I didn't know I'd be sitting on these comfortable chairs. Hopefully, I could stay awake through the whole segment. I'll do the best I can, but I know there's a lot of things happening. Great weekend at the America First Warehouse this weekend, and great things happening in the future with some good guests. And be part of it. Sign up to our app, the America First Media Television app. It's down on the right side of your corner. Get it on your phone, get it at home, and you'll keep up with us. It's a great place to be part of. I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Johnny boy, I couldn't have said it better myself. And you say it so well, and you look so good when you say it. That's all I can say about that. To my left, immediate left, is a new face to the table, but not a new face to politics. Jimmy Wagner is a friend of mine that created the Donald J. Trump Republican Club, the only one of its kind, the only one in the whole country. Jimmy Wagner, welcome to you. Welcome to our warehouse. Welcome to the truth. Welcome to the power of the Holy Spirit. Tell us about yourself. Where, what, why, and how.
Wow. Thank you so much, Joe. That's like, I am so excited to be here. I'm so happy to be among like-minded patriots, among people that truly believe in the original principles of America, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So, unfortunately, I was a Democrat.
Boo, boo.
I have come to the realization and the conclusion that the Democratic Party is no longer, it's not even about being for the American people. It's not about America whatsoever. They no longer find themselves aligned with or have anything to do with our original principles. So how did the Donald J. Trump Club come into existence? 1 year ago, I sat in Cebu restaurant with 12 of my good closest friends. They were all public sector workers. We had teachers, sanitation workers, police, nurses, a wide range of different public sector workers that I had become very friendly and close with. And we had lost a substantial case at New York State's highest court, the Court of Appeals. And the New York State Court of Appeals stated that you can have a post-hire condition of employment that eviscerates all public sector due process rights. So to take that out of legal terms, that means your boss can say, hey, we're giving you a new requirement. If you don't make it, we're going to fire you, and you don't get a hearing. So understanding public sector workers get a hearing for everything. Teachers can be pedophiles. They get paid and get a hearing. Police officers can do terrible things. They get a hearing. But when it came to the vaccine mandate, an executive branch order, it was not law, an executive branch order, our New York State highest court said, listen, it was a state of an emergency. You have to do what your government says. The people I was with said, absolutely not. We are Americans, and my body, my choice, right? That's what the United States government and New York State government has fed us for the last 60 years. And unfortunately, we learned the hard way. What that really meant was government's body, government's choice. It was never about the children in the womb. It was never about a woman's choice. It was about government control. And it was horrible. So we sat in Cebu Diner. We sat with Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis. We sat with Richard Barsimian, who was the Kings County GOP. We told him what we wanted to do. We told him we wanted to start this club in Kings County, Brooklyn. And our goal was not to poach current Republican people. Our goal was to go out into the street, run public sector candidates, meet with the public sector people, public sector employees living in Brooklyn go to neighborhoods that haven't seen a Republican in 30 years and recruit them to the cause and purpose. And we ran our first candidate. They allowed, so Richie Bar-Simeon, Kings County GOP, under the GOP rules, signed our club charter. We jumped right in. We got our first candidate, Athena Clark, on the ballot as a Republican. This was a woman who 1 month before was a Democrat. She was a tenured teacher who lost everything, and she wanted to stand up for public sector workers. So the idea and part of the strength behind the club is the melding, and I take that term from Steve Bannon, because I believe I heard him say it first, of the MAGA and MAHA movements, because a lot of the people that I was associated with were Robert F. Kennedy MAHA people. They were people who did not want to take a vaccine. They were people who believe that we should have some accountability for the pharmaceutical companies. And we can go down that list and all that issues. So we brought this club in together as this mold and this welding of the MAGA and MAHA. And this Saturday coming up, we're having our first gala, our first anniversary party, where we started, like I said, 13 people in Cebu restaurant. This Saturday night, we have a guest list of over 200 people, and I'm just so happy, and it's going to be a great event, Joe.
Well, now you're making me nervous, because last time I went to the Donald J. Trump Republican Club room, you were lucky if you could fit about 50 to 80 people. Now you got 200?
We have 200 people, paid, signed, coming to the gala. In total, the club has gone from 20 members. Look, in all fairness, we have 31 paying dues members. We have 187 signed-up members, which it's a tremendous accomplishment, being we might be in the bluest county in the country, and we're on the front lines. Like I said, we were in neighborhoods that hadn't seen a Republican in years.
What's amazing, though, is to start your story of saying that you were as a Democrat, now heading up Donald J. Trump Republican Club. Boy, that must have taken a lot of changes. What makes somebody that there's no mind at all to all of a sudden have a mind?
So So we can even go further down the rabbit hole, right? Because I worked for Senator Hillary Clinton, right?
Wow.
You
were all left. You don't get much
I
left
couldn't.
than that.
No, I'm going to tell you something. My father was an elected union official. I have been eating the Democrat crow for a very long time. The Republicans were 100% against workers and public sector workers. The Donald J. Trump in 2016, people can say what they want. He was a populist president. He was a president for the average, everyday American, and I still believe that to be very true today. He single-handedly brought the issue of illegal immigration to the forefront. He did that. Republicans and Democrats, for the last 30 years, since Ronald Reagan gave amnesty, they have been all about illegal immigrants in this country. And the issue with the illegal immigrants from a labor standpoint is they make labor the capital in capitalism. They literally flood the labor market with cheap, unaccounted for labor, which reduces the value of every single public sector worker. And I think the public sector workers are coming to that realization. If we take a look at what happened to our correction officers under a Democratic governor, a Democratic legislature, the correction officers have been crushed. Their union has been crushed. We have National Guard in our prisons right now in New York State, and nobody's talking about it. Like, it's a non-issue. This should be, I thought we're for the workers. They're not for the workers. They're for the powers of the Democratic Party.
Well, you can't believe how much they've changed from year to year when you see some of the old pics. You know what I'm saying,
Right,
Lisa?
Absolutely. So I have to commend you, because having grown up in Brooklyn, in Kings County, born and raised, and still have family there, I know firsthand that all of those communities are largely out of touch with politics for a number of reasons. There's been an influx of new immigration, right? Primarily Chinese. I think they're up to about 14 Chinatowns within the 5 boroughs at this point. And there are also large Spanish communities have filed in now from different parts of Central America and South America. And so they're facing, again, not only issues of trying to get their citizenship, or if they do have citizenship, language barriers, et cetera, et cetera. So the fact that you're growing this Republican Party, where it has been hushed and oppressed and suppressed for so long, and now you ran your first candidate, which is amazing. How are you reaching these communities? This is amazing.
old-fashioned, boots on the ground, knocking doors.
That's great.
Athena Clark in City Council 46 got over 10,000 votes. The last time a Republican ran in that City Council district, they got 3,000. So we single-handedly, we were knocking on doors. We held a fundraiser in a pizza parlor in the middle of Canarsie. We did not abandon neighborhoods that they told us shouldn't be touched. We went out to everywhere, and we spoke to the people. And I'm going to tell you, one primary issue is this Airbnb issue. Athena 100% was fighting on the Airbnb issue, saying, hey, look, they're going to pass this legislation. The day after Athena lost, the person who beat them actually turned around and sponsored the legislation to allow Airbnb in single-family homes in Brooklyn, and the owner doesn't have to be present. So what happens is you're going to have a lot of single-family homes that are now going to be SROs and running out. And it's truly terrible to understand the Democrats are not for any, at least in Kings County, Brooklyn, I can say without equivocation, they could care less about working-class Brooklynites.
Right.
I think the whole Democratic Party as a whole has laid their cards on the table. It is quite clear what they're doing. So just to let you know, recap, Jimmy Wagner created the Donald J. Trump Republican Club, and we here at the America First Warehouse are inspired beyond belief. We're not going to go through the regular channels and ask for forgiveness. We're going to get it. The America First will be the Donald J. Trump National Republican Club. Yeah!
That's going to be amazing.
You've worked hard and saved, but inflation and increased money supply are eroding your buying power. Protect and grow your wealth with physical gold and silver. Sound Money. With a Sound Money wallet, your wealth stays in your control. Buy fractionally, vault securely, ship directly, and instantly liquidate your gold and silver at the highest buyback price in the industry. Real money, real ownership. Visit tafwsoundmoney.info or scan the QR code and start securing your financial future today.
The America First Ultra MAGA Store. For all your MAGA needs. We sell t-shirts, tumblers, flags, hats, sneakers, bumper stickers, and a whole lot more. The most patriotic America First retail store. The America First Ultra MAGA Store.
All right, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night, live at the America First Warehouse. Live at the America First Warehouse on a Friday, Real America's Voice, all across the country, 103.9 LI News Radio, all across your radio, Suffolk County, Long Island. Glad you're in.
Corporate transfer, fine professional, moving and storage, and inventory management.
America First Warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed, because there is nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country.
Welcome back. Tune in Tuesdays at the America First Warehouse. And you're watching the America First podcast. I'm Lisa Azzarelli, and sitting next to me is Julie Ferring. I'm happy to have her here on the couch today. You're going to have a private interview with Julie. We have Sanctity of Life Month. That is taking place now in January. It was established by Ronald Reagan in 1984. So Julie here is the Director of Community Engagement at Soundview, and it is the only pregnancy center on Long Island, right, that does not perform abortions, right? Is that correct?
Well,
tell
first,
us more. We're going to learn. Go ahead.
First of all, thank you to Joe and you, Lisa, for having me on the show. It's such a blessing and an honor. To be clear, no pregnancy centers conduct abortions or refer for them. But we're the only medical pregnancy center on Long Island that has in-house medical services.
So can you expand on that? Because I understand, according to your website, that it says that you have over 1,600 transformative experiences for the pregnant moms. What does that mean?
Well, we're going into our 37th year, so we have quite a long history of serving women and men with excellence here on Long Island out of 3 locations. And transformative is, our goal, right, because we are life-affirming, is to rescue that precious little baby, whether they're, the mom is going to parent or parent through adoption. So that's our heart's goal, right? But we never manipulate or cajole or push any woman to make the choice for life because God gives us free will. So we do a lot of praying, but we provide them with wonderful education at each point in their appointment to help them make, an educated, best choice for life.
Wow. And that's great to hear and difficult here in the state of New York, right? Because we had the abortion now embedded within the New York Constitution. And we know that back in 2019, they celebrated abortion with lighting up the Empire State Building and having a huge press conference with the attorney from Roe v. Wade, the original 1973 attorney. It should not be something that is necessarily celebrated. And that came up in an issue with Pence in Indiana because he brought forth, when he was governor, lawsuits regarding making sure that the aborted child receives a proper burial. And to also afford the mother and father an opportunity to view the baby in the womb and then make a decision within, I think it was somewhere like an 18-hour time period. So give a little time to think. So unfortunately, Planned Parenthood took him to court on that. They took the Pence administration to court on that, and they fought for that. And it sincerely makes you wonder, why would you not want to give an aborted child a proper burial? What are you fighting for exactly? And so that kind of controversy instead translates to, this is women's rights, right? That's all we hear in New York. This is women's rights. But the truth is, the woman should have the right to understanding the whole concept. Are you afraid? What can we do to help? And Soundview seems to be one of those only companies that provides that for a woman, correct?
Well, there are nationally, I believe,
here in New York especially.
Here in New York. Well, here in New York, there are many pregnancy medical centers throughout the state. 12 of us, sadly, are being sued by Attorney General Letitia James because we offer the abortion pill rescue protocol, which utilizes progesterone therapy. So that means if a woman, takes just the first pill, there's a 65% rate of rescuing and saving that baby without any birth defects, giving women a last-minute choice. So, but there are nationally, over, I don't know the exact stat, but over 2,500 pregnancy centers nationally that are serving women well with excellence and all free services to show them life and give them all the options and all the education. to make a great choice.
Right, right. And so let's back it up 1 second. In the same way that Planned Parenthood fought Pence in depriving an unborn child a proper burial, what is the basis for the Attorney General's suit against the 12 agencies that you're currently experiencing?
Well, it's kind of crazy because in the lawsuit, it's saying something to the effect, and I don't have it in front of me, so I can't quote it verbatim, but something to the effect of that we are saying we can reverse an actual abortion. And we're not saying that. We've never said that, to be clear. We're not trying to misinform women or manipulate them. We are giving them a wholesome, last-minute choice to rescue their baby. And the abortion pill rescue has been around for over 15 years. Thousands of babies have been successfully saved by this progesterone therapy protocol. So there's really no basis for it. So it's just to harass us and try to, steal from our resources, our time, our efforts, our money, our bandwidth.
It's very interesting. What a lot of people don't know is that even the Roe v. Wade case itself was based on a lot of misunderstanding because Roe herself never had an abortion.
Correct.
So that is something that women aren't even aware of, especially young girls today who are receiving SEICUS form, SEICUS form of education in public schools, where they're encouraged to explore their reproductive options. They mislabel and they rename things to make it sound like, this is really a choice and it's a right and it's all of these other aspects without giving that mother an opportunity to understand the other side of the coin. And so you mentioned God's faith, right, in bringing it as a basis for what you are doing in the 3 agencies of Soundview, correct?
Well, we are faith-based out of 3 locations.
Let's talk about that.
So one of our pillars is that we are evangelistic. We desire to share the gospel because we believe women need a godly plumb line for life. And that's where the transformation begins, as you mentioned when we started out. That is part of it. Yes, it's choosing life, but then when they invite Jesus into their hearts and you see that tangible transformation and they're making good choices, godly, holy choices that will lead to blessing, right? God's word says you can choose either, curses or blessings by what you do, your behavior. So we want to offer them that opportunity to receive Jesus, to get saved, and then our social workers that are on staff can refer them to a church in their neighborhood. And it's so beautiful. So we pass the baton of discipleship to the church, but we're like the frontline responders, if you will, both medically, socially, and spiritually.
And I'll tell you, unfortunately and shamefully, New York State has done a really good job in depriving many women of their religious right as well, and not really, giving them an opportunity to explore the moral end of this or the personal end, because many women who do endure abortion suffer in other ways afterwards. No one cares to discuss that. It's not as if it's, a one and done and, you've taken care. It is something that lingers. And a matter of fact, there was a study done, and they had interviewed women in the thousands, but it was approximately 1,600, and they found in their blood that they had additional cells and tissue that didn't match the DNA 100%. And what it turned out was they asked them, do you have children? And the women said no. And they said, will you ever pregnant? And then the women broke down, a lot of them, and and had to admit that they had an abortion. And at that point, they said, okay, because your child's DNA is still in your body. those types of things are just astonishing. And again, women go to clinics sometimes unlike yours, such as Planned Parenthood, where according to Pence's, argument is that they're not given proper notice of what they're really getting themselves into emotionally and physically. So to that end, you bring in the Lord and you help people with that as well in finding the proper, place for their emotions and how to manage the pregnancy. Now, you also mentioned the men, and a lot of people don't. How do you educate the men?
Well, if we could just back up a little bit, we are certified and trained in reproductive loss. So that means not only abortion, we have post-abortive recovery, either a class or one-on-one for women. We can refer for men that have lost a baby through abortion, and men are hurting, and men don't tell anyone. They almost keep that secret and take it to their grave, and it's not healthy. So men and women are stuffing this loss and basically PTSD way down. So we have this lovely class, biblical based, for women that have lost a baby at 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. And we can lead them into hope and healing. And, as far as reproductive loss, we also treat for infertility, stillbirth, miscarriages, which are very common, that so many women endure, but yet they don't know where to go for help. And Soundview offers that all for free. We also can refer for perinatal hospice. If there is a really hard diagnosis and that baby may not live, we offer a God-honoring ending for the parents and the baby to help them transition.
That's amazing. You do amazing work, and God bless your work. We're going to put up the Soundview asset as well, so you know where to connect. Thank you, Julie.
Oh, thank you.
Have you noticed your money just doesn't stretch like it used to? Your paycheck feels lighter, and your savings aren't growing. The culprits? Inflation and increased money supply. They've both been quietly eating away at your purchasing power for years. Today, the dollar's value has dropped significantly. You feel it every time you spend money on goods and services. Back in 1965, $1 or an ounce of silver could buy you a gallon of milk. Fast forward to today. That same dollar barely buys a couple of coffee creamers, while an ounce of silver would get you 8 gallons of milk. Gold and silver have held their value for centuries. If you had 2,500 ounces of silver back in 1965, you could buy a brand new Ford Mustang. Today, 2,500 ounces of silver would buy you 2 Mustangs. Similarly, in the year 2000, 628 ounces of gold would buy a new $170,000 home. Today, 628 ounces would buy you a $2,500,000 home. The problem? 95% of Americans don't own physical gold or silver. They think it's too complicated and too expensive, but it doesn't have to be. We offer a membership program that allows you to buy gold or silver with as little as $1. You can buy fractional amounts, safely vault them, or have them delivered to your doorstep, and you can liquidate them whenever you want at the highest buyback price in the industry. Ready to protect your wealth and keep your purchasing power? Scan the QR code or go to tafw.soundmoney.com to learn more.
If the vote count is accurate, then how come the number of voters is different? And if it's not accurate, then why was it certified? We are suing Letitia James and the New York State Board of Elections for a conspiracy against fundamental rights. This is not about who won. It's not about what party. It's about the fact that they don't care about your rights.
All right, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night, live at the America First Warehouse. Live at the America First Warehouse on a Friday, Real America's Voice, all across the country, 103.9 LI News Radio, all across your radio, Suffolk County, Long Island. Glad you're in.
It's me, Joe the Box. And I'm John the Blanket with the America First Podcast.
That's what I'm talking about, the Fred Rubino Podcast.
I'm James Justice. We got Stephen Ruth over here. What are we doing, Steve? Fighting! Welcome to the Patriots Podcast. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the On the Right Side podcast here at the America First Warehouse.
Welcome to Liberty's Cage, the podcast tearing down the walls of America's broken justice system.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Downey Jr. podcast. Be free, stay free.
The America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
And we are back.
Wow, we are back. Look how hard I can see in the Studio 6 how Teresa's working. You see her in there? We got a lot happening. Welcome to the America First Warehouse. We wanted to continue a couple more minutes before we jump into the ICE raids and everything else that's happening. What's important to me is that you understand and believe what's happening. The power of the Holy Spirit is moving across this country. Life begins at inception. It's such a simple thought. It's the big light when Jesus comes in and a life is made. And we want to continue the conversation for a few more minutes because we felt it was very important, Lisa.
Yeah, it was. So it's great conversation with Julie Ferring here from Soundview Pregnancy Centers. And we are here at Sanctity of Life Month, established by Ronald Reagan. We got into very deep discussion about the rights of the women to also have the option to understand the other side of the coin. As it stands right now, Soundview is being sued by Letitia James for providing the anti-abortion pill, correct? And so from there, or abortion rescue, as it's been said. And so I would like to pull up the asset if we can, so that people could get in touch with Soundview if they need be. There we go. Excellent. Excellent. So you can click that QR code.
Yeah. 5 minutes left.
Yep. And so I would like to let Julie finish her statement. Very, very important on education.
Well, you asked me before the break about the men. So we also have a men's mentoring program. We refer out to trained, vetted volunteers that can educate men in the decision whether to keep the baby from a man's perspective, and also if they choose to parent with their partner, to do new fatherhood mentoring. Because we have a fatherlessness problem here in America, and Soundview endeavors to do something about that. And we're starting at the ground roots, right? Because that's where families begin. So we want to rescue the baby, empower the woman, strengthen the man, creating this strong nuclear family, which will strengthen America overall. And I also want to share that at Soundview, we screen every woman for human trafficking, domestic violence, drug and alcohol addiction, and mental health concerns, which are all really big problems here in New York, but also nationally. So we are trying to help these women in every way possible with free baby showers, a parenting program, pregnancy coaching program, nurse-led education. We get zero government money, so we rely on donors nationally to help us, and we want to grow. We want to offer STD, STI testing, prenatal care, but we need more funding. And so volunteers, we have a prayer text group. So there's a myriad of ways for people to get involved with us and help us here in the abortion capital, New York State.
How blessed are we to have the Soundview alliance that we have with them. Thank you very much for all that you do. Thank you for coming on
My
and
pleasure.
sharing with all of our different shows. You can always find where to send, where to donate on the America First Warehouse website. And come on, Julie, God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
see you
Joe. What a
soon, right?
pleasure. Thank you.
Well, we're going to come right back. Well, actually, we're not going anywhere. We're going to swap out the seats right now. We're going to bring in a fellow, right, friend of yours. And
yeah, we got him here. Vinny Marino is going to join us on set. He is Homeland Security. He's done ICE raids of some sort.
Here he comes.
We don't want to give too much away.
Yeah, we're really jumping from one side to the other. What we have was blessings from God. Every time I see a bad situation, there's got to be good things that come from it. So, again, the Soundview Pregnancy, we're going to help them. We're going to support them here at the warehouse. What we also support and love is our ICE. I had recently updated my van a little bit with the ICE Baby logo, and I've been getting a lot of rave reviews about it. Kevin, have you heard about my ICE Baby?
Yes, and some of the reviews are rave, and then some of them maybe a little communist. Some people, they don't get our sense of humor. They don't get that we're dedicated to the flag, to ICE, to everyone who wants to make country better, because they're a bunch of filthy communists, and they stand for things we do not stand for.
Hey, Lisa, will you introduce our new guest here for us?
I will. I'm very proud to do so. This is Vincent Marino. He's the president of TAC Investigation Services. He's a former DHS federal agent and U.S. Secret Service agent. He's going to help us weigh in today. But aside from that, and a cool fact, he's also a drummer. And he's got a band, When Pigs Fly. So we do have an asset for that. Could we pull that up real quick, actually? Because he's got
he's a policeman, so when pigs fly, so that's what I think it would be good if you slammed them against the Koran. No? What are you talking about?
I love that. Is everyone a cop or former cop or retired cop? Everyone in the band? Formerly. What a great name, When Pigs Fly. I couldn't come up with a better name for a bunch of cops in a band if you gave me a year. I love it. It's brilliant. And you're performing this weekend.
Yeah, we have an asset. Do we have that? There it is, When Pigs Fly.
I saw it shared on the social media. I was like, dude,
Lily
who's got the
Flanagan.
nerve to put that up there?
Very cool, very cool. Vin, we have a lot of craziness going on right now in Minnesota. So we had 2 shootings and basically a lot of fluff going around on media and social media, the fake news media. Can you help us to get centered and really understand what took place?
Look, there's a lot of fluff. There's a lot of fluff on both sides, right? As a special agent for Homeland Security, spent 21 years. Everything that we have done as far as making arrests have been surgical, meaning we utilize undercover agents, surveillances, phone records. We do drive-bys the night before. We do, pre-planning arrest reports. Everything we do is to minimize, the risk of the public, to minimize the risk of the person we're going to arrest, and to minimize my team. Okay, and unfortunately, what you're seeing now, nothing is really surgical, and that's kind of like a big problem. What you're seeing in politics aside, we have a massive problem with immigration. We've had it, and we have to admit that. And what you're seeing is a massive response to a massive problem. And when you deal with such large numbers, you're going to realize that bad things happen, and this is what we're seeing right now.
Well, the bad things that are happening, Vince, I have to say, are from agitators, paid agitators, instigators, and it all seems to be targeted and centered into one city in Minneapolis. Why are we not having the problems all over the country, and why is it so surgical on their part in Minneapolis?
These problems, ICE has always been there, okay? The feds have always been in Minneapolis. The problem that you're having is this kind of spun out of control when the fraud accusations took place a few months ago. And that kind of like steamrolled into what we're seeing right now. If there's a conspiracy to be had, maybe that's one of them. But I could tell you that, it is a problem what's going on with the protesters. It's a problem when, your elected officials are not assisting federal agents, and this is the outcome of what happens.
Do you know what I saw? I'm not kidding. The Minnesota National Guard came out, and they're providing hot coffee and donuts for the agitators. I'm not going to call them protesters because it's one thing to hold a sign and yell, but when you're getting in the face of a law enforcement officer blowing your goose call to annoy someone, that's not, in my opinion, the definition of a protest. Now, Vin, is it safe to say that this is more than just protest and somewhere maybe even beyond a riot? Can we call this an insurgency or an insurrection yet? Are we heading that direction?
Well, I don't know if it's an insurgency. I would say it's definitely not peaceful protesting. The good thing that I always respected about Mayor Giuliani was, hey, you could protest right there peacefully, and if you block traffic or if you get out of control, it's going to stop. We're not seeing that. You're seeing, the mayor and the governor just kind of bark orders where, hey, look, we need you to go out there. We need you to get in their face. These guys aren't real cops. You can't say things like that, and that's the biggest problem. They're educating the uneducated that are really not familiar on how the federal government works, and that seems to be a big problem.
Oh, you know what? Let me ask you this. I think it was Tim Walz saying, they're not real cops. But they have the right to arrest someone who's doing something incredibly stupid, do they not? I mean, they're probably not going to write a ticket.
No,
for parking. But
No, I mean, listen, we have different responsibilities in different areas. Under Title VIII authority, we have the ability to arrest and detain somebody who is not supposed to be in this country. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people still don't understand what ICE does and the difference between administrative arrests and criminal arrests. So there is a part that, this country really needs to be educated on what they're trying to do and not just pick a side for whoever you like.
Right, because what we're seeing is very shocking is that Minneapolis seems to be, again, with William Floyd, now this, there are things going on there that show a pattern, right? And the pattern seems to be affiliated with the government.
Right.
And we know that Keith Ellison of the Democrat Party is there, right? He's the AG. And then we have all of these instigators that are uneducated, completely uneducated. And it's almost as if there's some type of indoctrination that have been taking place, possibly in the schooling, not quite sure, but these people are enabled,
right,
and they are pushed to agitate. How do we get to the point for the officers who are on the ground? How do they defend against this? Because now, this morning, we have a judge saying that the head of ICE is going to have to come before, make testimony before him. So how do we get those in charge that are trying to help on the ground really show, no, there's more behind the scenes here. We're being attacked.
With 30 seconds.
Right. It's difficult. I mean, it seems like it's a civil war that's going on. You need the help of your local politicians. You need just the help of the local police just to allow you to successfully do your job. It's not difficult to have them on board. It happens all across the country. This is the only state, the only city that we're really having this type of problem. It's a shame. They really need their help of the local politicians to say, hey, listen, you know what? This is their responsibility. They're trying to get criminals off the street. They're entitled to do this. Let's make it as safe as possible. Let's work together.
Well, we're going to be coming back in 10 seconds. I want to just say a story to keep you to coming back. I do understand that Vinny might have had to answer to Tom Holman at one time. We'll be right back.
Most people think they have options when searching for the best deals when they travel. But here's the shocking truth. 100% of the major travel agencies are owned by just two entities, Expedia and Booking Holdings. They claim to offer the lowest rates, but due to the hotel rate parity agreement, they all have the same pricing, limiting genuine competition. When you book through these sites, you act as your own travel agent, but the profits are going to organizations that don't support our patriot values. We cannot allow that to continue. So, we decided to make travel great again by starting a US-based travel membership platform, mypatriottravel.com. We are patriots helping patriots. Together, we can disrupt the travel industry by not spending our hard-earned dollars supporting the radical left. For just $29.99 per month, you gain access to true wholesale rates on travel, saving you on average 35% and up to 65%. Book as often as you like, with no limits. Keep your hard-earned dollars in your pocket and spend them on things you need and want to support. Go to mypatriottravel.com/TAFW and grab your membership today. mypatriottravel.com/TAFW, making travel great again.
Are you a true American? Then it's time to get connected. Download the America First Media and Television app and stay up to date with real news, bold voices, and live events from the America First Warehouse. From national broadcasts and exclusive shows to comedy nights, concerts, and special events. It's all right at your fingertips. No filters, no spin, just America First. Download the America First Media and Television app today and be part of the movement.
I'm sure you guys remember the platinum single, Justice for All, with Donald Trump and the J6 Prison Choir. Well, get ready for round two. We're coming out with Anthem of the Free with High Res and the J6 Prison Choir. It's coming out now. It's pre-sale until December 19th when it drops. Get yours on all platforms, Google Play, Apple iTunes. Get it. It's going to be hot.
Justice for all, our voices ring. The anthem of the free.
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free. In the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land. And you know who's going to tell you all about it? In the Democratic War Room, Studio B, Teresa T-Mac. What's happening today, Teresa? What can we expect from the America First Media and Television?
Good morning, Patriots, and hi, team. So we just came off of a great weekend here at the America First Warehouse. Our audience wanted it, so we gave it to them again. And that was country line dancing. We had a pretty full house. We're going to show you a little clip real quick so you can see it when we do it next time.
You guys look great. Well, I read my good book, got my mama's good looks. God is still a hero to me. Yes, I'm a
Everyone had a great time. Everyone was boot, scoot, and boogie here at the warehouse, and it looks like we're going to be doing a lot more of that line dancing. So we want to also tell you about our new app. You can download it at afshows.com. Asset One fellas, you can screenshot that QR code. Please share that with your friends. We're going to bring you all truth, news, events, and all the great things we do. You can buy your tickets there. And for our audience, on Thursday nights at the America First Warehouse, we have Bible study, Asset 2. You can screenshot that if you guys have that up. Asset 2 for Bible study, Thursday nights at the warehouse. And then immediately following, you go to Christ to Conquer the Nations with Pastor Crystal every Thursday night. Every Friday night here at the warehouse, we have live from Studio 6B. The boys come down. You just saw Kevin on the morning show here. He's here on Friday nights too with all the guys. So please come down to the warehouse for that on Fridays. This Saturday, we have Project Civica celebrates America's 250th anniversary, Freedom in Motion. It's a pretty cool exercise fundraiser. I think you sign up with that QR code and you exercise from home, but it's a fundraiser for this great organization, and they'll be doing the exercising live here from the America First Warehouse. So that supports us and them. Please check that out. Also, this Saturday, the 31st, Jimmy Wagner, who is here today, he is the founder of the Donald J. Trump Kings County Republican Club, and their legacy gala is this Saturday. Our very own Joe the Box is the MC, so please check that out. You have a couple days left to get your tickets. Coming in February at the America First Warehouse is American Ride, the Toby Keith cover band, on February 7th. That should be a great time, so get your tickets for that now. March 1st, our very own Joe the Box will be the MC at the Queens Village Republican Club, and there's tickets available, and it's always a great time at the Lincoln Dinner, so please check that out. And last but not least, we have Saturday, March 14th with Fred Rubino, our third Not So Newlywed game show, which is a blast. So if you're interested in becoming a contestant with you and your spouse, please check that out or come down and enjoy a great show. Our item of the month is the America First Must Put God First mug. So please go to our website. You can click that QR code too for an amazing mug. It's all American made. And last but not least, our sponsors and our affiliates. We have Sound Money Wallet, wonderful for your investment savings. My Patriot Travel, making travel great again. And My Pillow with Mike Lindell. Thank you so much, everyone. Back to you guys.
Holy macaroni, I can't believe how much is on the table to share. There's so much going on at the warehouse, and I thought they just wanted me and my motorcycle. Now I'm going to be the MC, the master of ceremonies. I'm a little nervous, but I'll get over it. All right, that's this Saturday. Get your tickets there. That one's going to be fun. But anyway, we're back here with Vinnie Marino because behind us we have two great pictures of artwork that was created by Elena Rusova Magalangelo, the Russian immigrant, legal Russian immigrant. And she's got Melania on behind Lisa. I thought because they would complement each other, and that movie is coming out this weekend. And I know that Anthony's going to be taking Lisa to go see that movie. Right, Anthony? Wake up, Anthony. He's sleeping out there. And then over there on the other side between my friend Vinny and KDJ is Tom Holman, who talked to me and said, Joe, can you get a little skinnier? I lost a little weight. Maybe you can make a new picture of me. Tom Holman asked me, and I said, Tommy, I'll do anything for you. But Vinny, you worked with Tom. You were just saying you got some pictures with him. Can you tell us about your experience with Tom, and why do you think Tom's the right man for this job in Minnesota?
Yeah, well, listen, when Mr. Holman used to come into New York, we worked his security detail. We made sure he was safe. I've spoke to him several times. He's a great guy. He's fair. He's fun. He's firm. He's a normal person. He is the person that should be able to come out with a acceptable deal for both sides, where, you know what, Trump and, the mayor and the governor, they'll walk away satisfied, but still a little hungry, if that makes sense. I don't think one person is going to win this, but I think, one party, but I think Mr. Holman would be the right guy to make it happen.
I really thought that other guy the cowboy was going to kick some ass, and I really wanted him to, but I guess maybe Tommy's going to be a little bit different.
Well, yes. Listen, he's done this job. This was
got an
this
award
was his
from
job.
Hussein Obama there.
That's right. And nobody complained about what he did back then. So he does the job. He does it correctly, and that's the guy to have here.
I think this is what's interesting is that we have to send someone else in. The situation has gotten so out of control, right? And the backlash against ICE has turned physical. It's gone just from political into physical. And you as an agent were injured, correct?
Yes.
And during a protest. And so there's so much intensity of public anger toward immigration enforcement.
Right.
And people feel like, oh, I know my friend who, listen, I don't know, but I could speak for myself. My grandparents were born in another country, and they came here, and they had to deal with it. My best friends both were born in another country. So it's not easy, but we have to understand that there is a process that needs to be gone through. And when you come into the country illegally, that's a problem. And so you were an executive officer for the New York HSI Rapid Response Team recently,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
So let's take a close look at how ICE became this lightning rod for national rage. What happened?
What happened is under the Biden, listen, again, there was always an immigration concern, but during the Biden administration, that quadrupled. And, me being a special agent had access to the emails, had access to the videos of what was going on. We weren't properly vetting these people. And that led to what we are dealing with now. Now, these people were let in under the Biden administration, okay? A lot of them, and we did not properly vet these people. Not saying they're all bad, not saying they're all good, but there's a vetting process that needs to be. And I was having this conversation with one of my liberal friends, and we were able to speak, and we laugh, and we're good friends. And he says, I just wish there was a pathway. And I said to him, there always is a pathway. They just chose not to take it. And, that's where the problem arises.
Kev, you want to get on this one or what?
I would love to. So let me ask you this. I see people screaming about this last hippie who got ventilated and gave up the ghost. Now, it's true. You can have a concealed carry pistol license, and it doesn't say don't go into a protest where everyone's violent. It doesn't say that on it. You're allowed to do it. But I would think, if nothing else, if I know that ICE is, the attacks on ICE are up over 1,000%, and the threats are 3,000%, and some of these guys have been attacked, some of these women have been attacked. I think this guy is an idiot for not putting all that together and saying, I should probably leave the gun home. And what do you think?
Yes. Look, he's going to protest what his government is doing. So the troubling part is that he had a second magazine. Yeah. So that, that seems to be a problem. But nobody's really picking up on this. It's just starting to come out now. His weapon that he has is a SIG P320. The Department of Homeland Security and other agencies across the country, they actually got rid of that gun because there's over 100 instances of it just going off for no reason at all.
Since it came out like 2017, I think.
Yeah.
Like, this is not going back 30 years.
Yeah.
This is going back a handful.
So, listen, number one, this is a tragedy what took place. I do believe there needs to be an investigation to see what everybody saw, what everybody thought. But you have to come and you have to realize, bringing that with a second magazine is not the smartest thing to do either. I carry my weapon all the time. I never carry a second magazine because if I have to discharge my weapon, God forbid, and I have to go into a second magazine, that means it's a bad day for everybody. I mean, it's just not a good situation.
I can't imagine these gentlemen that get up and ladies that get up every morning. They go out there, they want to do a job. I'm wondering if you think that you're going to get they lie right to our face, both Fry and Governor Waltz, when they instigate this thing. I can't imagine that they're going to be convinced to be any differently from Tom, even though I believe Tom Homan has a very convincing way.
Yeah, well, all my friends are there right now. I had friends at my wedding are there right now. I talk to them 3 times a day, all of them. The morale is not the best right now. And you can see why. It's very hard to do a job, to do it correctly, and to be, chastised and rocks and snowballs and everything blocking cars and, it puts so much more added stress, and not to have the support of the locals where you really need them. That's the backbone of society, the local police department. If they're not helping you with this, just maintaining crowd control, that's a big problem. Yeah.
It's unbelievable. I am just watching it as I watch it, and I try not to get upset at home, but it's just so difficult to try and manage what's happening in there. But every time I look at Donald Trump, he seems to be doing what's best for the American people. And I want to reiterate what Jimmy Wagner has done in Brooklyn, New York, creating the Donald J. Trump Republican Club. To me, when I heard that was happening, I was like, how can something like this happen? Well, strategically, he was able to make that happen. And what we're going to do here at the America First Warehouse, I don't know how you feel about this, KDJ, but I think we should be the Donald J. Trump, DJT, National Republican Club. What do you think about that idea?
Sir, you continue to amaze me with your brilliance. I'm all for it. Sign me up. I'm gonna be the second person to sign right under you.
Well, actually, I already got positive reaction from General Mike Flynn. He wants to be the member right away. Tommy Holman loves the idea. And Lisa, what do you think? You like that idea too?
I'm on board.
Jimmy Wagner, good idea over there? 100%. Jimmy likes, because, rules and writings and this and that, but we're going to break all the rules. We're going to break all the barriers because we can do this. We don't need local approval for this. All we need is approval from our Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, birth begins at inception. Jesus Christ be with all of you. God bless America. God bless the America First Warehouse.